that, I'd like to introduce our speaker and sponsor for today, Frantz with House of Color. I'm looking forward to hearing about your business.
Thank you. I want to make sure I can do this.
Can you hear it? Is that good? Okay, well, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. I am Frantz, and I own House of Color. Before I really start telling you about my business, what I love, and how I've made it successful, I just want you to think about you for a second. I got introduced to a lot of you this morning, and your first impression is made in a matter of seconds. It takes, I think it's 67% of the impression you make is all about your appearance. And that's kind of a sad statistic, but it's true. People are judging you on how you look. And what I really do is I want you to show yourself through the way you look. I want you to be authentic, and that's what I do. So your personal appearance is sending a message and kind of setting a standard of expectation to everyone you meet. And I want you to think about, is that expectation high or is it low? Your personal appearance also affects you. Studies show that when you dress well, you look good, your confidence swells, and then your performance improves. So that really leads me to, I want to give you the confidence and tools to really appreciate yourselves from the inside out. So I help my clients know their best colors and style so that they can look and feel their best and really be authentic to the people around them. It's kind of a funny story how I got into this. I mentioned this to a couple of you that I was not even looking to work. I was at my birthday dinner last year, and my mother-in-law came and said, "Oh my gosh, I had this amazing appointment. I got my colors done, and this is what I'm getting you for your birthday." And I'm thinking, I mean, really, like, what are you trying to say? I'm not cute. I don't know what you are trying to get out of this. But I listened, and I'm thinking in my head, can I just have a Target gift card, really? Like, this is not important to me. I stay at home with my 2 kids. Well, anyway, I went to this appointment and could not believe the way I felt when I left. I majored in fashion design at the university, so I've always been interested in fashion and design and thought I had a kind of a knack for it. So feeling the way I felt when I left this appointment, I thought everyone needs to feel this way. People walk out of my studio like peacocks. I mean, they're like shaking their tail feathers everywhere because they've never felt so good about themselves. So that's kind of how I got into it. I went to this appointment. It was so amazing and life-changing that I thought, I have to do this. So I went to training, and I went to color training, and then I went to style training, and it really, it changed my life, and I want to change everyone else's lives like mine was. So if I take a step back, unfortunately, I can't tell you what your colors and style is by looking at you. I have a studio in my home, so I do it out of my house, and I want to give you something as a takeaway today, so that you can go, because even starting your own business, if you have a successful business already, your personal appearance matters. We want you to look your best and portray that to your clients, your colleagues, your family, to everyone. So I want to show you points of interest. You, I know, sell jewelry, and you are aware of points of interest, but it's really an important part of what we do. So I came in today wearing a lot of authority. It actually dates back to sumptuary law, where kings and queens presented and showed their authority by how they looked. So I'm just going to, don't get freaked out, I'm going to take off some of my pieces of authority, and I just want you to watch it change. Okay, so a scarf. It covers the jugular, which is a really vulnerable part of the body. That's why men wear ties, to present authority. And if I take off my scarf, I just want you to watch my image change. Okay. Oops, sorry. So it changed a little, right? Now a belt is your ammunition. So a belt is a point of interest. So watch what happens when this is as far as I'll go, I promise. Watch what happens when I take my belt off. I lose a point of interest and I don't look as authoritative, right? Now, a jacket is your armor. If you are making a presentation or wanting to get a new client, put your jacket on. I know I'm going to put this on my little tank top so you can still see it. But I just want you to watch what happens when I take my jacket off. So, I just look like a girl walking down the street. I still have high heels on and 2 colors that are very good on me. Now, if I didn't have my lipstick on, do I look the same as when you first met me and saw my first impression when I came in this morning? No. Now my hair is done, and yes, I showered, which doesn't always happen every day. But my point in doing that is you send a lot of information through the pieces of clothing that you wear, and women for our makeup. Now, it's not just me. Oh, maybe I can't get that through. I want to tell you a really quick story. It's called the Allison story. I'm just leaving my belt off. Do you guys care?
No.
Not many people probably, de-vest while they're doing their presentation, but that's what I did. It's called the Allison story. So Allison is a director. So House of Color is a franchise. We are based out of the UK, and Allison is a director at House of Color headquarters in the UK. She, though in her former life, she was a crisis management director at a medical facility. Allison had a really high-profile job, and she was really good at it. She's a really dynamic woman on the inside, but she was invisible on the outside. She wore mostly black, which a lot of women resort to wearing, and she dressed in really classic style of clothing. So she looked really boxy and dowdy. She was not portraying who she really was on the outside. She got a House of Color analysis as a gift, just like I did, and it revealed to her that she was a vibrant autumn. Now, I usually bring a big color wheel and kind of describe that, but I don't want to sell you my business today necessarily. I want you to think about you and be able to do better in your business. So she's a vibrant autumn. It means she wows and looks the best in this certain area of colors. And she just decided, you know what, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to do what this lady tells me. And can you not hear me? Sorry. Shoot, sorry. That's what I get for taking my jacket off. So Allison decided to just jump in. You know what? I'm going to wear my colors and my style for 2 weeks and just see what happens. She was in a monthly meeting one day, and this man came up and introduced himself to her. And she shook his hand, and she said, I'm sorry, but I have been in this same meeting with you every month for 3 years, and you've never introduced yourself to me before. Now, Allison projected more confidence and authority, and which translates really into trustworthiness. If you're confident, and people will trust you if you are authentic and true to yourself. I mean, we all have God-given coloring and characteristics, and if we honor those, you're going to do better at no matter what you're doing in life. So anyway, back to Allison. She got promoted 2 times in that calendar year for doing the exact same job she had always done. And then she was headhunted out of the company. But the moral of that story, and my favorite part, is that this is not an unusual story. If I had a dime for every client who had compliments and their self-esteem was built because of how they felt about themselves through the process of House of Color, I would be a millionaire. I was never one that struggled with self-confidence necessarily, but how I felt after leaving my appointment is a life changer. I can't say enough for how It's changed my life, and how personal appearance really does matter. And it's not about being vain, it's about really showing who you are. And you only have one life, so you might as well look good and feel good while you're doing it. So I would be happy to answer any questions. That is a really shortened version of what I do. You got a lot of them. Hammer me.
Okay, about 30 years ago, there was a New York Times bestseller called Dress for Success.
Yep.
And it was based on scientific evidence, and it would compare two similar-looking people in their advancement through the business world, depending on how they dressed. And it was a very fascinating book.
Yes.
Is this kind of based on that, or are you familiar with that book? Or?
I'm familiar with that book, and color analysis was really big in the 80s. It was called Color Me Beautiful. And we base our information and everything we do off of Johannes Itten, who's a 20th century Swiss artist, and he developed color theory, which is what every art and design school throughout the world use color theory, and it's how one color affects another. So colors really change other colors, and why that matters to you, because you are a color, and what you wear really makes a difference in how you look. So it is color science. We do the exact same thing as they did then. We're a 35-year-old company, and we base everything off of color science. So you really see yourself change in front of the mirror. You see yourself go from ill looking in certain colors to really bright and vibrant, younger, thinner. I mean, it's pretty remarkable. So, yeah. Did that answer your question?
Yes, it does. I got another one, if nobody else does.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Does it just deal with clothes, or does it have to do with makeup too?
Clothes and makeup. So we have makeup based off of your season. So you are either a autumn, spring, winter, or summer, and those are just certain color palettes that you look best in. You either have a yellow undertone to your skin or a blue undertone, and we base your season off of that. So for women, we do a 90-second makeup. That's all I have on today. This took me 90 seconds in the car after I ate my Krispy Kreme. It's all based off of their season, so it's all precision dyed to be that person's season. Yes, back there?
Is it just one-time thing, or we should come back as we change, as time goes, we grows, we changes?
Sure.
Like, do we need to come back, or is recommended, I guess?
Yeah, no.
Have to.
No, that makes sense. You only get your colors done one time. I did my 5-year-old son's colors, and he's a summer. He's going to be a summer for the rest of his life. Your undertones will never change. Even if you get tan in the summer, your colors stay the same. And then you come for style or color at first, and then you can also take a style class. Because even if you're in the right colors, if I'm in the wrong style, I look silly, or like I'm wearing a costume. If I wear a big flowy dress with flowers all over it, I'm not being authentic to me. Let's be clear, I need the classic style clothes. So, did that answer it? Yep, you can take 2 classes. Yes?
Is your color based strictly on your skin tone, or build, height?
Your color is based off of your natural coloring, which includes your eye color, your skin color, and your natural hair color, which I clearly do not have. But we give you tips on hair color too if you want to color it. And then your style is based off of your body architecture, which it doesn't matter if you've gained weight or lost weight. Our bone structure is not changing. And then also your personality, because we need to know who you are to be able to dress you and portray who you are. Yes?
Styles have changed a lot. Went from I'm speaking from a male perspective.
Sure.
Has changed in my open collar. In my past career with leadership, we were always taught that you dress one level above the clients and the people that you're going to get in. Say a little more about that, and then say a little bit more about men's style.
Men's styles. Well, it matters what your profession is.
Yeah.
So when we take a personality test during a style class, and we really get to know you, and your level of authority you need to carry. So that matters in your level of style. A construction manager dresses differently than a pastor. So that matters. So we do look at everything like that. As far as what's in style in men's fashion, we go down to every detail from pattern, neckline, tie, the type of shoes, loafers. I mean, we go through everything, so you never guess you walk into a store and you never have to guess, oh, I wonder if that check is too big, or should I be wearing polka dots? Can I wear those crazy socks with my suit? You know, you will know. I don't really care what's in style, to tell you the truth. I did because I majored in it. Like, I love being fashionable. But dressing my style, which is a classic ingenue, I don't care what's in style. I care if I look good and feel good. So we just help men do that too. Yes?
Can you give us a breakdown of percentage male versus female in your color consoles?
I would say 75% female, 25% male.
Do you do couples?
Yes. I love it. It's the cute. I mean, watching your wife eyes light up, it's like, could you have gotten her a better gift? No. And it's a gift you really use your whole life. I just can't believe I didn't know my colors and style until now. I mean, think of how much money I would have saved. I wear silver jewelry and not gold. I mean, it's just really, it makes everything make sense.
So you said you did your kid, like when I was a kid, I had completely jet blonde hair. It's
Yeah.
totally different now. Does that change things or?
Your hair is either warm or cool, and that's either your yellow-based or blue-based.
Gotcha.
Your season won't have changed.
Okay.
If someone, a lady or a man goes gray, you're gonna gray in your same season, even though you used to have dark hair, now you have gray hair.
Gotcha.
In some cases, the skin tone affects the hair, but anyway, that's another story. For
Yeah.
Black thereof.
Yeah, I mean, you lose color as you age, so the colors that you pop in when you're 20, they might be different when you're 60, but you're still gonna be in the same season, and I really teach you what that means when you're in, so.
What is the cost then of a consultation?
A color consult is a 2-hour appointment, it's $195, and a style is $245, but it's a full day and you take it as a group. I don't know if you're interested in the goods and bads and what I love and don't love about it.
Absolutely.
I was just thinking of that on my way here, and I'm like, why can't I think of something I don't like? And I really think it's because, so I've always been interested in entrepreneurship. My family really likes to make fun of me that I thought I wanted to bake cakes for a while, thought I wanted to make picture frames. I mean, I've always wanted to do something and didn't really know what that one thing was. And I was trying to search too hard for it, I think. I fell into this, as you know my story, but why it's worked and it's been unbelievably successful is because I'm so passionate about it. I would do it if I didn't get paid. And that's what I kept thinking in the car this morning, is that changing people's lives and making them feel good, I would do this if I didn't get paid for it, and I think that's why I'm good at it. And also, I really wasn't afraid to fail, and I think that's a very big thing when you're starting a business. If you ask yourself, am I okay if I don't succeed at this? And the answer is no, then entrepreneurship might be tough for you, because I failed at 2 things before I found this, and that's okay. I think a lot of people starting businesses do. So if you're okay with accepting failure, but you'll do everything you can to not fail, I think that's a really great place to be. So that's what I came up with in the car right here. Yes?
So I like your style. So in the morning time, before that, so your style,
Mm-hmm.
the percentage is you have a red color.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the morning time, which clothes
Uh-huh.
is first priority? I mean, you select first
Okay.
pants or jacket or something?
No, I know what you're asking. So we focus on a capsule wardrobe. If you walk into my closet and you close your eyes and you pick a pant and you pick a top, it's gonna go together. So if your closet is all in your season, everything you can mix and match. So today, I love this scarf. So I have bright blue pants too that I wear with it a lot. I put on jeans. I can pick any pair of my pants and it'll go with this. So we really teach you how to put outfits together easily, and shopping should be fun, and even for people who don't like to shop, that's even more important to know your colors and style, because then you don't even have to think about it. There's a top, I need this, done. So I don't necessarily pick one item first, they just, everything goes together, yeah.
Thank you. Okay. I don't know.
Yes, does that make sense? Okay. Yes,
You mentioned that one of the, I guess, the style clash you in groups.
Mhm.
So that leads me to the question, do any companies pay for this for their employees?
yes, so I went recently to Nailnet, and I did a full day of color. You just one in, one out. So I think I did like 12 colors in a day, and they paid to have their executives have their colors done for the commercials they do or whatever they needs to be done. So I've done, I think, 4 of those. I went to Miller Public Schools up in Omaha and did it for them as a Christmas present to their employees. So, yeah. Yes.
So what do you find are the best networking opportunities for you?
Sorry, what?
The best networking opportunities or connections, would it be an HR person at a company? I mean, have you found there's a niche that you do best in yet? Or within the company, is there someone who's been very successful and they have targeted X, Y, or Z?
You know, I think my individual clients are my biggest advocates. People whose lives are changed. I mean, for every big company that I've done, I haven't reached out, I haven't done a thing. Someone has had their colors done and said, oh my goodness, I know this person, and they're gonna call you. So I think I've been very lucky in that fact, is that I haven't really done any marketing. It was a client who told me to come speak here, Melissa Wheeler. She was like, you have to come talk, because they would love to hear about it. And I'm like, okay, I guess I can. So even the I don't necessarily reach out to people I think would be influential, because I think even the stay-at-home moms matter just as much as a CEO to me. I care about making an individual feel good. I haven't really tried to grow my business, and I think that has worked. I don't know, that's probably not helpful for you, but
Well, I'm just thinking about about 20 some years ago when I was with Vector Marketing, which just does those cutlery things when I was just out of college. They talked about this topic, and they were talking specifically to the salespeople, because
Sure.
how the salespeople look matters. When you're walking into someone's home with a bunch of knives, sometimes they don't even know who you are.
Right.
And so that was a big deal.
Yeah.
So I guess what I'm getting at is, in addition to executives, it seems like salespeople would be a good.
Absolutely. Salespeople, I mean, I don't remember what each and every one of you do, but if you tell me, I could tell you why your personal image is important. I know so many of you introduce yourself to me, and I try to remember names, but people are taking in how you look. So how many people introduce themselves and you don't remember their name right away, but you remember what they look like? So I want you to look your best and really feel good about it, so that if someone doesn't remember your name, they remember how you made them feel and how you look. So, sorry that wasn't helpful.
No, that's good.
Yes.
Do you do any advertisement on social media? I could see Instagram being a big platform for.
I do. I heavily Instagram. And I think I've gotten a lot of clients through that. But the image I'm portraying is exactly who I am. My problem with Instagram and Facebook is that if you're trying to advertise your business too much, you're just trying to be too salesy, and really I'm being real, and I think being real with people is going to get you more business. It has me. Like I've documented eating my Krispy Kreme on the way here, and a lot of people have liked that for some reason. I don't know why. Yes?
Before we ask the next question, Lori, you're gonna do a giveaway, is that right?
I'm going to do a half off a color consult if you want to put your business
So,
card. Or you can, put your business card, and if your wife wants it, give it to her. So.
No, that's cheap.
I'll give it to both of
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking, two businesses.
You had a question back there, sorry.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of this question, but being real with people, sometimes it's like, I've run into people say, hey, I'm a t-shirt, shorts kind of guy with sandals,
Yeah.
And so then they'll say, well, what's wrong with that? Because I'm being real. So what would your answer be to someone like
You
that?
mean if they want to sell something, like in their business, if they want to sell something, but they wear t-shirt, jeans, and flip-flops?
Yep.
I would tell them, how's that working for you?
You know,
Are you selling a lot? And they would say, no,
probably not.
probably not. So I
But
would
they're
say,
being real.
right, they think they're being real.
Yeah.
But you can also be real and be dressed professionally.
Okay.
So I will tell them, let me do your style, and I promise you when you leave that you will feel like you, but you're gonna look like you can sell something.
Okay.
That's what I would say. Yes.
How many
That's
people
me on
do
the
you need
t-shirt.
for the style class?
3 is a great number. The only reason, a color you can do with 1, 2, 3, or 4 people at a time. A style, we look at your body architecture. We actually look at you from the back, and we figure out what shape you are, because your bone structure does not change. If you gain weight, lose weight, I mean, we're staying, our bones stay the same. So it's helpful to see other people's body architecture and understand why that big crazy pattern looks great on that man, but I need a classic tiny little check. Or for women, I get why that neckline is good on her and not me. It's helpful to see different body shapes and face shapes.
Other questions?
So I had a guy one time who was working for me, and he said, I will not wear a tie, even though he looked better in a tie, because it gives me neck rash. What do you do in a situation like that? You just tell him, hey, we can come up with an alternate. I mean, besides fire him, well, what do you do?
Because you wanted him to wear a tie and he wouldn't?
Yeah, and he wouldn't, but he presented better when he had a tie. So
Yeah.
the guy ended up only being there for 6 months anyway, so there were other issues.
Well, yes.
But I was just
If you're
curious,
so
like, what do
adamant
you
about
do?
not wearing a tie, you probably have other issues other than a tie. I don't know. I find that people listen to me better than their boss.
Sure. Because you're the expert.
Right. So I think people, if they have an issue with an employee dressed the way they dress, send them to me, and they would be, they listen to me better than they listen to someone they don't think knows what they're talking about.
Gotcha.
Yes.
It's not so much a question, but just to go back to what Joe asked, or when he said, you know, this is just who I am and I'm being real.
Sure.
I think it also goes into your personal life too, because like there's a guy I dated about 6 months ago, and he had that attitude. This is me. This is how I dress. So the 3 dates that we went on, he had the exact same dress down look. There was not a 4th date.
Yeah.
It matters.
It matters. Yeah. If he would have been dressed super nice, you might have gotten the wrong impression of him, and we don't want that.
Well, yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to go extreme, but yeah,
Right.
it was just the same pullover blue T-shirt.
It matters.
And yeah.
And even when you're at home lounging, and we could talk about this, you seem to put your worst on when you're at home. This has nothing to do with business, but I mean, you're still presenting an image to your family. Like, they matter to you, and what you look like matters. So that, yeah, you really don't appreciate it until you do it. So I was so skeptical about my appointment. Well, I get it. Yes.
There's a psychological, you touched on it at the beginning, the psychological impact. I repurpose my life, I don't retire. But there are certain days that I don't have to dress up.
Yeah.
And one of the things I do, because it's motivational, I choose to come to this group on Thursday morning and dress somewhat semi-professional. I don't have a tie.
Yeah.
But just getting up and getting ready to come here has a whole different psychological impact.
Yes.
And when I was involved in business, I always had time, no matter what. It has to do with your attitude, your image. Not only your image, but it has a lot to do with your attitude.
I mean,
That's a psychological.
yeah, it absolutely is. Have you seen that little video? It's like, make your bed every morning. That's the first step in getting something accomplished. I don't make my bed, but I sure get dressed. So it provides the same purpose. It is psychological. You'll feel better about yourself if you get ready. There's no question. Yeah. Yes.
So do you have a giant clothes swap for all of us that are like wearing?
We do.
We can swap.
Yes.
It's gonna be your next decision.
Yes, we do. There's 200 consultants throughout the world at House of Color. I'm only the 16th in the United States, so it's relatively new here, but we know what we're doing. The training is extensive, and they bring people over from the UK, so we are highly trained.
Only 16 in the US, is that what you said?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So as far as psychology goes, you know, like we've heard that, or some of us have heard the whole thing, like the University of Iowa, you know, locker room is pink to try and get the players on the other team to not be
Yeah.
aggressive. How does that play into the whole deal that you do with folks? Does it have to do with your analysis of them as a person? Are they more aggressive or not?
Kind of, I believe it does. We don't really get into that because if you're an Autumn, I don't want to say like you're soft and kind, not powerful and authoritative.
Yeah.
But I honestly do. I think people have innate palettes. There's colors you're comfortable wearing, and there's colors that really make you shine. And I do think that it's kind of innate. Like Monet, he painted in a summer palette. Picasso paints in a winter. You're drawn to a certain color palette, and I just help you kind of discover that because you don't think about it before you. Yes.
And along the same lines, I mean, sometimes I've gotten business cards from certain business people, and after I got the card, I was like, okay, that's black and red. That person is the one, and it wasn't surprising. That person was very aggressive. Like,
Yeah.
that was what they chose for their color scheme for their business.
Yes.
So do you find that that's true? Do you ask people for their business cards? What do you do is there any other things that you do to kind of figure out who they are? Or
Well, the who they are, the personality part goes with the style. The color analysis, I just look at your coloring, and your personality will unveil itself. So I completely cover you in a drape, and then I take that drape off, and we go from yellow base to blue base, and you just watch your face. I mean, my biggest fear is they think, oh, I'm coming to this lady who's going to tell me what she thinks looks best, and that is not what I do. I let you see what looks best. There's no question in that room. I mean, you just, oh, okay, royal blue, not turquoise. I can totally see the difference. So,
All makeup off and everything.
I'll make up off. Yes,
Well, unfortunately, we are out of time.
you can ask me in a minute.
Yeah. Laura, thank you.
Oh, thanks.
Let's give you a Focus Sweet mug.
Great.
This is
And I
my
hope
wife
it
for
goes
Mother's
with
Day.
your
Will she
color
be
palette.
offended? That's what
Royal blue's in it.
Seriously.
Please hang around, ask more and more questions. She's got business cards and brochures back by the donuts, so help yourself to that stuff. And you want to do your drawing?
Sure. Ooh, let's do it. I'd pick a good one.
Yeah, that's true.
You! Hey, I'd love to have you. I want to stick it in here and take it. Yes, I'll email you.
All right, well, thank you for
Perfect.
being here this week. I hope you'll join us again next week. If you're not on our email list, please give me your card before you leave so that I can add you to our weekly email list, so that you can always keep up to date on who the upcoming speakers are. Again, hang around as long as you like, network. The space is open and available, so please hang around for an hour if you want to. Exchange business cards, meet somebody new before you leave, and again, thank you for being here.
Thank you.